something new with tech today. So I am actually streaming live to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as being here live on Zoom. Now, I prefer people to be on Zoom because I think you're going to get the best. You're going to be able to ask questions directly here on Zoom. But I am trying something new, just so y'all know that. So in case you see the little live thing pop up, you're like, oh, he's going live too? Yep, I am. Part of being the coach's tech guy is I have to be willing to try things out with tech and be willing to fail. And that I am. All right. So today we're talking about, really leveraging LinkedIn and Google for growth. And let me just go and get started here. So a little bit about me. I am Michael Pope, known as the coach's tech guy, tech and marketing coach. And I love helping, coaches and speakers really create systems and automation to attract clients and really simplify their tech. That's my goal, is to make it where you can feel like, hey, I'm able to do this. And I've had so many clients tell me that. Like, I think my oldest client she's 81 now. And I remember when she did her first webinar and how she felt after doing that webinar. She's like, I don't know why I waited so long to do my first webinar. She's like, you made it so easy for me to set this up. And she felt confident doing it, though I wasn't there with her on her first webinar. But I helped her set all the processes up and prepared her. And she felt so good about that. And so really, that's one of my passions in life, is helping people do things more effectively. Okay. And I'll skip this part here. All right. And so here's how to get the most out of today's session. Be fully present as best as possible. I understand this is a Saturday. People may have a lot of things going on, but do your best. Also, be open to new ideas, take notes, and make live changes. So I'm going to ask you to probably take a look at your LinkedIn profile as an example, or your Google profile, and make some tweaks there. So be willing to test some things out. Participate and engage, and also relax and don't take yourself too seriously. One of the things I've learned about doing anything virtual is that there are certain things that are out of my control, right? Anytime I'm doing a virtual presentation, I know at any given moment, my internet provider can decide to do some type of update in the middle of the day. It's happened before, right? Or a neighbor can decide to really cut their lawn with the loudest lawnmower possible. It's happened before. So don't take yourself too serious, because I do my best not to take myself too seriously. All right. And so let's get going. So the first thing, I actually want to start off talking about Google first, and then we'll jump into LinkedIn. And the reason why I like talking about Google so much is that, as many of you know, Google is the #1 search engine out there. Now, obviously, we have Bing and there's like Yahoo. But anytime someone's thinking about looking up something, the first thing they do, even if they're using Microsoft Edge or Safari and they're using their search engine, they'll say, I'm going to Google it. Because it's just, we've heard it so many times that it's our natural instinct. And so I love to encourage, entrepreneurs to set up their business profile on Google. And I'll talk more about this and show you an example. Okay, but first, what is the Google Business Profile? And the name has changed over the last couple of years. It used to be called, I think, Google My Business. Now it's Google Business Profile. But first off, it is a free profile that Google gives you to add your business to Google, which is, like I said, the #1 search engine. It's not a replacement for social media. It's not a replacement for your website. It's an addition to. Okay. So it's going to complement your existing products and services very, very well. And I'll show you how they all tie together in a little bit. Okay. Google Business Profile can be managed from the search and maps. And so I'll show you how to get into that in a second here. And so here's the first thing exercise I want people to do is to open up Google in an incognito or private window and just search for your name and then either your title, like if you're speaker, coach, and then whatever area or city you're in. Okay. And I just want you to see what the results look like for you. And so I'll give you an example. And if you're looking to create a So here I'm using Google Chrome. If I want to do a new incognito window, I just come here, new incognito. If you're using something like Safari, it might be new private window or similar verbiage. Incognito, private, same thing. And the reason why I suggest doing that is because it doesn't have your search history about who you are. Okay. So I'm going to do that. If I just search for right here, if I search for my name, and I'm just going to do, I'll do trainer, and I'm going to do Cincinnati, Ohio, as an example. So that's the major city near me. So I encourage you to do this for yourself, and then click enter and see what shows up. And this is very important because think about it. When you're out meeting people, whether it's at a networking event, local restaurant, a bookstore, and you exchange information with them, if they're considering doing business with you, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to come home and they're going to search for you. Now, they may not search. So to get to incognito, Marilyn, if you just click on the three dots in the upper right-hand corner on your browser, you should see new incognito, new private window, depending on which browser you're on. Okay. And then all I did was here, I searched for my name. I put trainer, Cincinnati, Ohio, just to see what comes up. If your name is unique, you may easily be at the top of the list. If your name is more common, my name is Michael Pope is very common. There are so many Michael Popes in the world. So I have to be intentional about putting content on Google so that I can show up high in the search results. So this is what showed up for me here, just as you can see here. My LinkedIn profile shows up first in this list, then followed by Facebook business page, Instagram. Yep. So Renette mentioned, hers is very uncommon, which is good, right? So it makes you unique. Your challenge is probably people may misspell it, right? So that could be your only challenge, but being unique is great. My e-speakers profile shows up, and there's a few others, and there's some that aren't me. Like there's like this Michael Pope right here isn't me on Buzzsprout. I don't think. Oh yeah, actually it is me. Yep. Okay, that is me. Oh yeah. Yeah, so all these are me based on the location and city. So it's really good to understand how you show up. And next, what I encourage you to do is click on images and see what images show up under your name with those same criteria. So in my case here is Michael Pope, trainer, Cincinnati, Ohio. These are the images that show up for me. And underneath the image, you can see the source of those images. So the first four here are from LinkedIn. Then I have Instagram, Facebook, a couple. And there's some that aren't me that may be endorsements. Like this one here and this one here is an endorsement that's on my LinkedIn profile that shows up. So their picture shows up, but it's connected to my profile. So you may have cases like that as well. Okay. All right. And so this is what shows up for me. So really that's what your goal is. And this awareness helps you understand, okay, if I have pictures showing up from platforms that I'm no longer active on, that I may need to remove those pictures, or I just need to add so many more new pictures that I'm overriding all the old ones, right? Because you have more relevant pictures. Okay. And so that's always my goal there when I'm doing that type of search. And you can do the same for videos too, to see what videos show up for you. So if I do videos, most of these videos here aren't mine. Yeah, those aren't mine. Okay. I'll go back to all here. All right, so that's the first thing, is just Googling yourself to kind of see how you fit. And let me let's check the chat here. Okay, see if there's any other questions about that. All right, so Kimberly said hers came up first. Perfect. All right. So I'm gonna minimize this for now. Yeah, and your videos that video search doesn't always produce the best results. Like none of my videos show up here. However, they show up if I do, I think when I did Michael Pope speaker, some of my videos came up. No, they're not showing up here now. All right. So some of my videos come up here. So I changed it to speaker in Cincinnati, and now some of my Google business profile shows up. So I'll talk more about this as we get going. Okay. So let me get back into here. So like I said, the first thing you want to do is search for your name, your niche. The next thing you can do is in the maps area, you want to search for the same thing. So let me show that example. So come back here, and you can just go to maps.google.com, and it brings you to the Google Maps. And now search, this time you're not searching for yourself, just search for your niche in the location. So I'm just going to search for speaker, and I'm going to put Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is going to show us, actually, let me do trainer. I forgot speaker doesn't. Let's do public speaker. Okay. And so I can see a few businesses. So searching for public speaker, Cincinnati, Ohio. I've got this speaker here who's a friend of mine, Michael Davis. His business shows up here. So this is his Google business profile page. My business shows up here. So I can see mine here on the list. And there's a few other speakers in here. I can do the same for, we'll do leadership coach. Leadership coach. Okay. And I can see mine shows up in the list here. So this is number 1 on the list, Focal Point Business Coaching. I'm number 4 on this particular list here. Okay. So ideally you want to think about, okay, if someone is searching for your particular niche, leadership coach, health coach, life coach, whatever it is in your area, Google is going to search in the local radius of the person's phone. So just keep in mind there. And you kind of want to rank high up here and have a business profile. So hopefully if you don't have one, I'm going to show you how to create one, but this is what the goal is. Okay. And let me see. Yeah, so you should, anything that you're serving, Kimberly, so, we're speaker, coach, trainer, you want to show up in those categories. So for me, you can see part of my name on Google is I have my business name -- speaker, trainer, coach, because I want to be able to show up in all those categories. And I'll show more about how you set categories in Google as well. But I just want to give you a feel of kind of what you're looking for. All right. So let's go into how you actually set it up. So one thing to keep in mind is that local search results favor the most relevant search results. So when think about how it works with a restaurant, you've got your phone, you say, hey, I'm looking for pizza. It's going to look at your location and find pizza places that are close to you, that are active. And so this is what you want for your particular business as well. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how you can claim your business profile on Google. So the first thing you want to do is you can just open up a browser tab. If you type in business.google.com, and I'll put this in the chat as well. So business.google.com. Let me show with this one. I'll do it in incognito. So business.google.com. I'm already logged in. If you're not logged in, it's going to bring you to, Let's see. Mine is logged in, so it's going to bring me right to it. But if you're not logged in, it should bring you to a Start Now page. And what you want to do is, I'm going to just click on See My Profile. But if you've never created a business profile, you click on it, it's going to say Start Now, and then you can go through the steps of filling out your business profile. You don't have to do that part now. You can go back and watch the recording, but I'm going to show you how you go about editing your profile. So once you've added your business profile for free here on Google, I'm just going to walk you through some of the basic steps real quick here. So it may be Start Now or Manage Now, depending on whether you already have one created with your Google account. And you just use your regular Google account that you've got set up. So I'm just going to edit my profile so you can see what currently exists. So at the top here, business name. Your business name should match whatever your registered business name is. You want to be consistent with it. So for me, my LLC is actually Michael Pope Training. So that's why I put it just like that. Next is category. You have to select a primary category. Unfortunately, they don't have things like speaker. They do have life coach in here in the list, but they didn't have speaker. If I search for coach, I can see life coach, but nothing else really. For mine, I just chose consultant. And then you can add additional categories. And so my additional categories, I have life coach, coaching center, training center, marketing consultant. But I'm unable to do something like speaker here if I wanted to. It just doesn't exist on their site, unfortunately. So you just have to figure out what categories are closely tied to your particular business. Okay. All right. And Teresa, you asked me if I can zoom my screen. So I should be full screen. So you may just have to make it full screen on your computer. Okay. Next is you want to add your description. So the description is what people are going to see when they go to your page on Google. So it should be similar verbiage that's on your website or on your other like social media places. Okay. I got my opening date, phone number, your website as well. So you can link your website to it. And the beauty of all of this is that when people pull up your page, they're going to be able to click on those information. So really, they're able to do business with you directly from Google without actually having to go to your website and other sources. You can add your social media profile. So for me, I have Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram on here. Now, business locations. Because of the type of business that I run, I don't have a physical location that people come to. If you do have an office, you can add your address, and that makes it even easier for people to find you. But in my case, I don't have an office. And let me see something here. Okay. All right. So hopefully this is full. Yeah, okay. Okay, there you go. Perfect. And then service area. So service area, these are any areas where you do business in. And they want it to be, you could add multiple states and things, but the goal is to narrow it down, thinking that if someone's using their phone and they search for trainer or coach, you want to come up in that general area. So for me, I just put cities that are in my vicinity in this list. And so I have a large list here. So you can constantly add cities for your service area. Business hours, you can do that. I don't have a business that someone's going to show up at my door, so the hours aren't as important. However, I like to keep a large range, just so if someone's looking for me, I want to be, and they say, hey, I only want to see things that are open, I want to follow that list. Okay. Let's skip this part here. Then they have other sections on here. So it's me, like I identified as a Black-owned business, and there's other options in here that you can set. I won't go through those, but you can take a look at those as you're editing your profile. And so that's just right here on Edit Profile. Now, additional things you're going to want to do. So first, I'm just going to go to Photos here. You're going to want to have a cover photo and a logo if you have those items. So make sure you put your logo, your cover photo. And then I encourage you to continue to add photos and videos to your Google, just like you do other social media platforms. And I'm going to show how you do that. But you can, at a minimum, you can add videos and images to your profile here on Google. Right. So I've got lots of photos that I've added here on Google. Okay, and that's photos. You can, you can also add products on here. So I'm going to click on Edit Products. So I currently have a few different products on my Google page. Here's how this looks. So this is my, if someone finds me on Google Maps, and they come and look at my products, they'll see actual products available here that they can do business. So they can easily come here and say, hey, I'm interested in this, and they can click there and do business with me that way. So Google makes it really easy for you to add your products on here. That's in this product section here. So all you're doing, product name, product category. So you can set your own custom category. So I have one for this, one for tech training. You can create new categories here. Your photo, your price. You can have a landing page URL. So typically, for most of us, you're going to have a separate place where you're actually selling your products. This would be that landing page URL right here. And so you can put all that on Google where someone can easily click on your product and go to your landing page. All right. Services, you can have additional services as well. So here's some of my services. I have life coach, corporate team building, executive coaching, group coaching, leadership coaching, mentoring, keynote speaking, and you can have a description. I don't have a description on this one, but you can have a description for any of those categories as well. Okay. So you can fully flush this out with more categories and services that you do. Bookings. So as a coach or a speaker, if you're currently using some type of booking link, like a Calendly or Book Like a Boss or Acuity or Go High Level, some system for people to be to book appointments with you, you can add that link right here. Okay, and you can have multiple booking links. But what this does is when someone's looking at your profile from their phone or on their computer, they can click right there to go to your booking page, to book an appointment with you. All from the Google page, which is really good. Add updates. So this is how you post to Google, unless you're using some type of social media scheduler. This is kind of how you add content to Google like a social media platform. So I would come in here and say add update. And I would add my picture, the description. So the picture like you would on social media. So as an example, I'll just pick a picture from my computer here. I'm just going to pick this picture here. So I can pick this picture right here. I can add a description here. And I can add a button, is optional. So my button may be sign up. Let's say it's a workshop like today. It would be sign up, and it would be the URL for my landing page right here. Okay. So it could be any of these right here. Order online and a link to order online. So all directly from, I'll cancel that. All right here from Google. If you have any type of an offer, maybe you're doing something where it's a, hey, I'm doing a Black Friday sale or I'm doing a fall special or something. You can set the date of the start date of your offer, the end date of your offer right here. You can have the offer details. If there's a coupon code that people need to enter, you can put that on here. the link. So that'll be the URL to your landing page. Any terms and conditions, that's optional, but you can add terms and conditions to your offer as well. But so you can set all that up right here on Google, which, as I mentioned before, is the #1 search engine. So you want to be visible here. You can also ask for reviews too. So I can always copy this link and send it to people and ask them to give me a Google review. And so here's an example of kind of how my page looks. So you see the social media profiles here. Recent posts that I've added to Google are located here. And like I said, the products, they can see products here. And Google, of course, Google has paid advertising. So they're going to constantly encourage you to have paid ads, but you don't have to have paid ads for the local. Only if you want to. If you do decide to, you can tie it together. Okay. All right. So let me see what else. I already talked about managing. And I'll give you all access to these slides so that way you can see the actual notes that I have in here. Okay. And let's see, any additional tips? Okay. Yeah, so when you are adding content to Google, whether it's videos or photos, you definitely want to use high quality, respond to any reviews you get promptly, whether even if it's a negative review, right? Google still wants to see you respond to them. Post regularly, use insights to track your performance, use Google Posts to share any type of updates or promotions that you're doing. Okay, and so all the other things that I kind of already touched on with Google. All right. And I think the last thing with the Google profile is you want to create a nice cover photo. So I think I showed before how when I come to my profile, this is what they'll see as the cover photo for me right now. So if someone search for me, this is what's going to come up as cover photo. And then they'll see my service area over here. Okay. And like I said, they can see the website information. They can call me and have full access there to my Google profile. Okay. And so I'm going to pause. Can I share my screen? Are you not able to see my screen? Let's see. Okay, so Kimberly says she sees it. So I'm going to. All right. So do me a favor. If you have a question, raise your hand. I'll go ahead and take some questions about the Google profile page, and then we'll go to. Let me go here. Let's see. Okay, 1 second. Participant list. Perfect. And all right. So first up, Agnieszka. I always say your name wrong, so correct me, please.
Hi, Michael. No, it's perfect. It's all good. So thank you for this. I actually never even knew it existed. And my question is, I don't want to put my home address as the business address because it's only online.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I've never included my address anywhere. So as a result, it's not coming up anywhere. So that was interesting. So how do I even create a business profile? Because it makes you enter an address.
So
go hide it later? Or?
Yeah. So Google requires you to put in an address just so they can know who you are. Right. So one thing to consider is you can always create like a virtual PO box or something if that's available in your area.
Okay.
And because anytime you're sending mass emails, you're required by law to have a physical address on those emails. Okay. But then also here on Google in your profile, you can set it up where, so on a location, like for me, it doesn't show. So there's an option here that says show business address to customers. Mine is turned off because I don't have an address to show people. So long as you turn that off, you're fine. Even if you gave Google that address, you're fine if you turn it off.
Okay, so as you complete the profile, even though you do put the address, then there's later the option to hide it.
Yes.
Amazing. That's great. Thank you so much, Michael.
You're welcome. All right. Annette.
Michael, while you were going through setting it up, I have I'm not sure. I have a Google personal account.
Okay.
Like, whatever. And then I'm not sure, do you need a business Google account to set this up?
No. So any Google account, so any Gmail account or something, or account that's registered with Google will work.
Okay, and if I do have a business Google account, it won't mess things up if I do it.
No, because you could have multiple businesses. Like some people have multiple businesses attached to even the same email address. So you could, so Google allows you to do that as well.
Great, thank you.
Because you may have multiple locations depending on the type of business you're running.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Kimberly.
Hey, it's thanks for the information. My question is, when you're doing the reviews, are you coming from that with look like a boss, or where's that coming from?
So these will be Google reviews.
So how do you set up for reviews? That link that you showed us?
Yes.
What platform or system are you using for asking for reviews?
No. So that will be straight Google.
Oh.
So what it is right here on your profile, Google has it where you say ask for reviews, and you can either email, WhatsApp, Facebook, or just copy this link and make it available to people, and then they can give you a Google review.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. And so in terms of reviews, the most credible reviews are Google reviews and LinkedIn reviews because you have to have an account to create those reviews. Typically when I speak, I'll do Talkadot to get like speaking testimonials. Those are great, but I can't take those to LinkedIn or to Google as a review. I have to ask the person to add it in addition to. So just keep that in mind. But Google reviews are very important, just like how Amazon reviews are. Let's see. Orville.
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good. I wasn't able to see your screen while you were sharing, but nonetheless, I was able to follow along.
Okay.
So I have two questions. One is around the primary contact number. So I have a business phone number, and they do give us like a local number and also an 800 number.
Okay.
So I listed the 800 number as the primary. Now I know we're talking about like Find My Business mostly locally. Should I make that switch and use the local number instead of the 800 number, so to speak? Does that make a difference?
So it's personal preference. I know for me personally, I like calling local numbers because I feel like I'm going to get someone that's truly local. You know, because nowadays so many companies have call centers that are overseas. I feel like if I call an 800 number, that it's going to take me overseas somewhere.
Okay, so it might give the wrong impression. It's mostly about optics. Then people might get the wrong impression of who they're called.
Like 800 numbers used to be important when back when we used to pay for long distance charges on our cell phones, but nowadays, you know, it doesn't really matter.
Right. The other one that I find challenging on Google is the business category.
Okay.
I don't think I could find anything else except consultant. And
consultant or life coach.
There's nothing else. And no matter how much you try to add anything else, it wouldn't allow you. But I do appreciate you giving us more, looking at the categories, and you listed a few edit services that you had on yours, and I know that we're kind of like all in the same categories. Can you just kind of revisit and tell us some of those services that you added?
Yes. Are you able to see my screen now?
Still not.
So I am sharing it. So it's something on your end. I don't know if you don't have.
Could be. I had logged in for a good 20 minutes prior, so I don't know if that paused. I don't know why. But
so do you have multiple screens open right now or just one?
I have multiple screens because I have I have about 3 different screens on my.
Because if you come back to the Zoom, you may have something on top of it then. But if you come back to the Zoom window, you should be able to see mine full screen.
Okay. All right. I will definitely look at that while you're talking through it.
Yeah. And I'll give you in the document, you'll have the recording, but also I think in the document, it might have some of these services that I use as well. But like for the category, I had consultant, life coach, coaching center, which I don't know what that is, but I put it in there. because we got coaching, training center, and marketing consultants. What I use, and then for other services, I have corporate team building, executive coaching, group coaching, leadership coaching, mentoring, keynote speaking, training, leadership development, public speaking.
Okay,
Because you have more flexibility with the services, and then you can add descriptions underneath all of them.
right. All right, so I'm gonna lean back, but just one question. When you add these services, they are not your primary business. Are they going to be a part of the searchable? If someone search for this,
Yes,
say,
they're part of
corporate
searchable
trainer.
keywords. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're going to be a part of this keyword search. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. All right. Last question, Teresa.
Hi, Michael. This
Hey.
is, as always, amazing.
Thank you.
So here's my question. It's similar to what Annette had asked. So I have Google Workspace, and then I have my business.
Oh, did you freeze, Teresa? Or am I frozen?
Email and stuff on that. So does all of this make it, for lack of a better way to put it?
Say that one more time, Teresa, because we had a.
Am I not coming through? So I was saying my question was similar to Annette. So I have Google Workspace, and that's where I have my business email and everything.
Okay.
Does all of this like merge together in one space, or is this just separate when I go and set it up?
Yeah, to be separate. So Google Workspace is primarily for you, where you'd be managing your information. And then the Google Business Profile, that's the public searchable profile page that people will find on Google.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so let's jump back into this here. Let's see. So now we'll jump into LinkedIn. All right. So the reason why I love talking about LinkedIn so much is that LinkedIn is the largest professional network on the internet. And it continues to grow. They have over 1 billion users now, and it is growing. And more people are starting to recognize the value of LinkedIn. So I encourage people to use it on a regular basis. And so we'll talk about some strategies there. Okay. So one thing to think about on LinkedIn is think about, what do you want to be known for on LinkedIn? So when someone shows up on your profile, what are they seeing? So as an example, maybe you want to be you're a leadership coach, and you want to be known on LinkedIn as a transformative leadership coach who empowers professionals to unlock their full potential. All right. So just take some time and think about, okay, hey, what do I want to be known for on LinkedIn when people are looking at my profile and they're kind of reviewing my content? And so I have some examples there, but I'm just going to skip past those real quick here. And so then our next exercise is to find out, how do you show up on LinkedIn? And there's two things to look at. One is for people who are not connected to you, and then also for people who are connected to you, because there's two different things. So I'm going to show you on LinkedIn how to look at the one when people are not connected to you. This is kind of like for people who are not even logged in on LinkedIn, what do they see when they look for your name? So I'm going to pull up LinkedIn here, and on the right-hand side where it says me, I'm going to go to me, and then I'm going to go to the settings and privacy. And here on the settings and privacy, on the left, I'm going to click on visibility. And then I'm going to click on where it says edit your public profile. Okay. And so for me, this is what my public profile looks like. So if someone is not even logged on LinkedIn and they came to my page through a Google search, this is what they would see. Okay. And depending on what you have set on the right-hand side here where it says edit visibility, this determines what people can see. So for me, I've got the basic information is set, and mine is set to public. Now, depending on your situation, there's some people who, because of your corporate job, or you may have to be a little bit more secretive about this. So you may have it where only people in your network can see your information. So you decide that. But for me, I want to be as visible as possible. So I have public turned on, and I have all of these checked here. So they can see my background photo, headline, websites. visible for people. But keep in mind, you don't have to. But it's just good to know this is what people will see. If they're not connected to you, this is what they're going to see. And so for me, they'll see my articles, my contributions, my activity. Some people choose to turn off things like activity. So they'll say, well, I don't want people seeing when I comment on other people's posts or like, and then you can just turn that off if you choose to. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing. And then while we're here, let's see. Okay. All right. Any questions about the public profile here? I'm going to show some other edits to it, but just want to make sure there's. Okay, so I don't see anything in the chat.
Well, Michael, this is
Yes.
Merlin.
Hey.
I see profile, but I don't see anything that says public profile. It just says profile. When I click on me, it takes me to my profile.
Also, when you click on me, click on settings and privacy.
Oh, okay. When I click on me, click on setting. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And then when you click on next, click on visibility on the left.
Okay, I missed that. Okay.
And then click on edit your public profile.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And then that brings you here. So,
okay.
And then the next thing is this, you don't have to change it. However, I encourage people to always update their URL, especially if your URL is very long and it has like numbers and letters and things in it that don't really represent who you are. Then I encourage people to edit their custom URL. So that's right here on the right-hand side. So for me, mine is just my name. Kept it very, very simple. And your URL can be up to 100 characters. Obviously, you don't want to make it super long. And no spaces, symbols, or special characters is a part of it. But this is what you're going to be sharing with other people. Now, keep in mind, if you do make a change here on your URL, anywhere where you've currently stored your URL, so on your Google Business profile, on your website, you're going to have to change it in all those places. So I caution you on changing it, but I encourage people to at least simplify it if it needs to be changed. Okay. All right. So do that there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So next, let's talk about finding your people. So one of the most powerful things about LinkedIn is the ability to search for people and really narrow down your search. So I'm going to show an example here. So I know on here we have a lot of coaches on here. So let's just say that you like working with HR managers or something. I'm just going to search for HR manager, press enter. And now what LinkedIn does is it's going to give me a list of options. So let's say we're looking for people. We're looking to add more connections. I'm going to click on people. And now I can choose to filter people, to filter this list. So right now I've got 3 million people. That's too many to go through, right? So you have different categories. You have first connection, which means they're actually connected with you on LinkedIn. Second connection means you have a mutual connection with them. And then third is you have no connection at all with them. Okay. So I'm just going to pick third just as an example here. So if I click on third, that's going to be majority of the people, right? With no connection. So 3.5 million. Now I can narrow these HR managers down by location if I wanted to. So I can come right here and let's say I'm just looking for people in maybe Cincinnati area, but I'm also going to put another city. I'll put Atlanta on here. Okay. So let's say that I'm looking for HR managers in Atlanta and Cincinnati, and I click show results. So now I'm down to 10,000 results, right? So that's still a lot. I could further narrow this down if I wanted to find people at a specific company. So let's say that I was going to put a proposal in a certain company. I want to narrow it down. I can either type the company name or they may give me some suggestions. So in this case, Kroger I'm going to pick Kroger and show results. So now I have 171 people that have HR and managers somewhere either in their title or in their profile that I can kind of sift through. So now I have 171 people. So if my goal is to connect with HR managers in a certain area, I can easily narrow that search down. Okay. And I can easily go and connect with these people or look at their profiles very easily. And there are other filters on here as well. So let's say I was looking for people who are a connection of such and such, another person. I can easily do that to find similar connections, right? So if I was, so if I pick Maryland here as an example, I can say connections of Maryland if I wanted to, and then show results. Now you may not be connected. You're not connected to any of these people in this case, but that's the way you could do it. I'm just going to reset that and show results. But if I know that I'm working with a certain person, I can find their connections really easily here. So this is in the all filters section. You can have multiple companies listed here. You can have followers of certain people, past companies, schools, industry. So if there's a certain industry that I'm targeting, I can pick people, language, and so forth. Okay. And they have other little services as well that I can add. So you can really narrow down your search. And this is using the free organic search on LinkedIn. Okay. And then what you can do, so one thing that a lot of people don't understand about LinkedIn is that once you've created like your filter and you're happy with this list, you get the full URL up here. You can easily bookmark this URL. So in my case, I click on the star and I can bookmark it on and click done. And now anytime I want to get back to this specific list, this specific filtered list, I can easily do that. And so it saves you a lot of time if you know you're constantly working through this list of making connections in that area. Okay. Saw a hand pop up. Marilyn, okay. Hey.
Hi, Michael. I was asking, where did you start filtering? So to get there, you're searching for people in the HR field.
Yes, yes.
Where did you go to start that search?
Yeah, so the first place I did in the search box right here in the upper left, I just typed in HR manager and pressed enter.
Okay.
And then from there, I narrowed it down to people. So these are your options. So you have people, you have jobs, posts, companies.
Gotcha.
All of those.
Okay.
Yep. Great question.
Okay.
Kimberly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And to the same, almost the same question. So you did HR manager, people third, and then you did locations, and that's when you started adding the like Atlanta, parts of Ohio.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then to tack onto that, with the star, you said if you use the star, it'll create a URL that you could bookmark. I'm gonna ask anyways. The star, is that indicative of of a bookmark, or do I have to go into set bookmark?
No, it is a bookmark. So it's in Chrome, the star is the bookmark icon.
Okay, good to know. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, I showed third as an example, but normally if I was truly trying to connect with people, I would probably go to second connection because we've already got some type of mutual connection. So it makes it a little bit easier for people to say, oh, he's friends with Kimberly, or he's connected with Kimberly, and he's probably been vetted type of thing. So I would probably truly do a second connection here to find people. Okay. And so then let me show another example. So let's just say as a speaker, I'm looking for speaking opportunities. I'm just going to search for hashtag call for speakers rather in here. Let me reset all my search. Okay. So if I just do call for speakers and I'm going to do post this time. So call for speakers, post, and then I can change the sort by. So I'm going to sort by latest, show results. And so now I'm going to see posts where people have done some type of call for speakers. So sometimes they may be looking for to pay a speaker. Sometimes they may be looking for a speaker to pay, right? You just never know. But like in this example here, right? Calling all data professionals and innovators. So they're taking speaker applications until February 29th. This was posted 3 hours ago from this conference here. So if I'm looking to speak at this conference, then I can just follow their link and apply for a speaking opportunity. So this is one way where you can use LinkedIn to your advantage to find organizations or people who are using the hashtag call for speakers, which a lot of people do if they are looking for call for speakers type of thing. Okay. And so you see, I've got a list here of people that are actively looking for speakers. And these all today so far. Right. And you can always narrow this down. So if I'm looking for things in the past 24 hours, past week, past month, I can kind of filter my results. I can choose the content type. So if I'm looking to see videos where people posted about call for speakers or just images or live videos, right? I can narrow the search results here. Okay. So here's Marilyn, did you have a new question or is that from before?
No, it is a new question.
Okay.
So are you searching for hashtag call for speakers, one word, and it's in the same upper left?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
when I did that, it just gave me people who are speakers.
Okay, so you did let's do this again. So hashtag call for speakers. And this first option here where it says post, companies, and people, yours may have been on people. So then you'll see people, so
Okay.
4 results. But if you change this people one to be posts, then this is anyone who posted with that call to speaker on it.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So here's another example of something you can do in the search on LinkedIn. So I'm just going to search for leadership and press enter. And let's say there are certain people that I want to follow. I want to follow their posts about leadership. So I'm going to come right here to from member, and I'm just going to search. I'm going to put John Maxwell. All right, so John C. Maxwell, and let's do Grant Cardone. How about that? So Grant Cardone, and I'll do show results. Oops. All right, let me try this again. Grant Cardone, John Maxwell, John C. Maxwell. Click show results. And so now I'm seeing posts just from these 2 people. So John Maxwell here, Grant Cardone, right? John Maxwell, Grant Cardone. So I've narrowed, so instead of me seeing posts from thousands of people on the subject of leadership, I've got it narrowed to just these 2 people. And I can change the sort by to be the latest. Okay. And I can get certain content types. So then maybe I just want to see videos. So if I just narrow it to videos. Okay. So then I'm just going to see videos from those 2 individuals. And the beauty of something like this, let's say that you have a few influencers, if you will, that you're following on a regular basis, and you want to be actively commenting and engaging with their posts, you can create a filter like this, bookmark that filter like I mentioned before. So click on the star. I can name this, I would say leadership with John and Grant as an example. I can, in my saved searches, and I just click done. And whenever I want to go to my bookmark and find this particular filter, I can easily go do that. And this allows me to engage with just these 2 individuals out of the thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that are active on LinkedIn. And so if you're really trying to be strategic and like, okay, there's certain people that I want to follow and stay active on their content, then the filtering system really helps with that. Kimberly.
How did you get there? Do I just type John C. Maxwell in the search engine, or was there a step before that?
No, so right here, you see, are you still able to see my screen?
I am.
Okay, so I just have leadership at the top,
Okay.
and then the category is posts,
Okay.
and then where it says from member,
Hmm.
that's where I added the people's names.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I can add Tony Robbins in here. Show results. And it doesn't have to be anyone that's famous. I chose famous people, but I could easily add Kimberly in here as well. So if I wanted to have Kimberly's posts. Oh, there you go. Oh, no, that's not you. That's your old profile. Oh, there you go. Okay. So, yep. So I can, even though I'm not, so I guess, Kimberly, I'm not connected with you on LinkedIn, I can easily add you to this list as well. So you can easily filter posts by certain people, even if you're not connected with them. Click show results, and you'll be able to see their content if they have content in this category.
I found leadership. I found posts, but I didn't see from members. I just am probably overlooking it.
So if you don't see it up here, click on, you see all filters?
Yes.
Okay, click on all filters, and then you should see a section that says from member.
Okay. Thank you again.
You're welcome. All right. All right. So that's finding your people. So there's different ways that you can narrow down your search to finding people here on LinkedIn. All right. Let's see. All right. And I'm not done with the training yet, but I know that some people may have to leave early. So I kind of want to let you know as far as like how I can help you with this further. So I've put together a 6-session program, really where the way I look at it is I'm giving you 6 hours of my life to help you with some of this, optimizing your Google, optimizing your LinkedIn, and putting together like a strategy in place for it. And so I'm doing a 48-hour special that's limited to about 10 people, the way I've got it set up in the system. And I'm doing a special, a birthday price. I put it at $411. So April 11th was my birthday when I turned 50. So I put together this 48-hour special where you can access this 6-session or 6-hour program that I'm putting in place, where we work one-on-one for those 6 hours to really optimize your content. So I want to make that available to you all. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because I want to get back into some really optimizing your LinkedIn. So I'll put that up for a second, and then I'm going to go. All right. All right. So now, next, let's talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. And actually, let me paste. Let's see. All right. I'll put the link in the chat if anybody wants that right now. All right. And so now we're going to talk about optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So adding new connections is great. One of the things before you even start adding a whole lot of people is you want to make sure your profile is optimized. And I just remember one other thing I want to show here on LinkedIn. So when you are ready to start adding people, you can do the manual connection like I showed. Something else I encourage people to do is if you go here to where it says me and go to settings, in most cases, you're already connected with a lot of people. And let me see if I can remember where to find it at. Let's see. So I'm here under settings. If you scroll down, you're going to see sync contacts. So click on sync contacts. And right now, like my Google is connected. And so what that means is if you already have your Google connected or you have your phone connected to LinkedIn, which you should when you set it up, you'll get an option that says manage your contacts. And in this list here, so if I go to other, actually, if I go to phone contacts, so on my phone, I got phone numbers for 2,600 people here. if I go through this list, if anyone like this person here, Scott, I used to work with Scott. He's on LinkedIn with that same phone number, so I can easily connect with him by clicking on connect. Right. The same for Kristen here. She's in my phone. I can connect with her. So that's one way of really adding connections. You're like, man, I didn't even think about that person. Well, if they're in your phone, you probably have some type of relationship with them already. So this is one easy way of quickly adding followers that you already know of. Okay. All right. So next, let's talk about optimizing your LinkedIn. So the first thing is thinking about your profile picture. So these 3 examples here, the one on the left has too many people in it. So that one, right, it's a great picture, great family picture. However, for LinkedIn, it's not the ideal thing to have. You just want to have a single high quality picture. The one in the middle is dark. She's wearing sunglasses. So you really can't develop that know, like, and trust. And then the one on the right, nice picture, but it's really too much body for a professional platform like LinkedIn. It really should be. I mean, if she take the same picture and just zoomed in more to her face, it would probably be a really nice picture. Okay. And so here's some examples of, I thought it was some really good pictures on LinkedIn. I saw these people. I believe I'm connected with all 3 of them, but I just saw them. I was like, okay, those are really nice professional pictures where you can get a sense of who the person is and their personality. Really nice quality pictures. All right. So something to help with creating your profile picture. Obviously, you can just use a random picture. In addition to that, you can use Canva to optimize or to set up your profile picture. So if you have a picture, Canva has tools that can really help you enhance your photo. You can replace the background and put a different background if you wanted to. I'm not going to get into a Canva training today, but I wanted you to at least know this is available. And so Canva has great LinkedIn photo profile templates. The recommended size on LinkedIn is 400 by 400 for your profile picture. And changing your profile picture is easy as you just coming here to your profile, clicking on your profile picture and clicking on I can edit or add a photo type of thing. So you can so add a photo will replace the photo, but you can quickly do that on LinkedIn. All right. Next is your banner cover. So you think about on LinkedIn, the first thing that people typically see, they see your profile picture and they see your banner cover. The recommended size is listed here, 1584 by 396. And the goal, especially as an entrepreneur, is that when someone shows up in your LinkedIn profile, they quickly know what you do and who you do it for. So I've got 2 examples here. The first one here, Maria, you can tell right now that she's offering a program, right? So her banner is currently program focused, and she changes her banner a lot, but it's currently program focused. She's got enrollment open for her introverted membership school starting on October 1st, right? So she's got a clear call to action. You know exactly what it is. She made that very, very simple for people to understand why she's on LinkedIn and what she's trying to do. The next one here, I love this. He always has great banners. Obviously, you can tell right away that he's a speaker, right? We know he's a speaker. We kind of know what he speaks on. And so if I'm looking for a speaker and I run across Kingston's profile here, then I know, hey, I need to connect with him. So that's kind of what you're looking for, to make it very clear for people to know what you do and who you do it for. Here's 2 other examples. Nasheen's here, speak to success, create wealth and influence by learning how to communicate your ideas. So obviously it sounds like she's an experienced speaker, but also probably a speaking coach. You kind of pick that up from her banner here. And then Monica on the bottom here, she does a lot with branding and creatives, but so she has a very eye-catching banner that stands out on LinkedIn. Okay. So I encourage you, take time and use something like Canva. Canva has LinkedIn cover banners already available. You can customize them. Okay. I've already talked about the public URL, so I'll skip this section here. Next is your headline statement. So remember that anytime someone comes to your profile, or if your name shows up in a search, that they're going to be seeing your headline. And keep in mind, the way it works is they're going to see from left to right, and it gets truncated as it goes. And so I have 3 examples of really nice headlines on here. Ernesto's, hey, trusted authority and visibility and credibility. Let me help you. Right? So he's really nice one. Maria's, corporate speaking coach, helped over 200 introverted leaders gain executive presence. Monica's, I help female entrepreneurs create standout messages through visual storytelling, etc. So very clear headlines. Okay. And like I said before, be mindful of how it shows up. So here's an example of 3 different views on LinkedIn of people. And you can see that part of the headline gets cut off, which is why you want to have the most important elements of your headline at the very front to ensure that people see it. So here's an example. You think here, I'm on my profile, but on the right-hand side, I see more profiles for you. So you can see how, so here's Denise's here. You see part of it's cut off, but unlock your team's excellence through empowering, right? So that's enough of a description to kind of pique my interest. Tessa's here, team engagement catalyst, certified facilitator. So it's good enough to really give me an idea of kind of what she does without clicking on her profile. Same for Yannick and Molly here. I know that they're both keynote speakers, you know, right? So it's like it's enough. So just be mindful of that. You don't want to have something here that doesn't help people want to click on your profile to know more about you. Okay. And so depending on how they search for you, it's going to show different bits and pieces for your LinkedIn. Here's a simple statement. You can screenshot this if you want, of some different ways of organizing your headline depending on your goal. And so I just show 5 different examples there, where you got like your role, helping target audience achieve specific goal through, you know, your method or your process, right? Whatever it is. So example, you know, a leadership coach helping entrepreneurs achieve breakthrough success through proven leadership strategies, as an example there. So those are just examples. And you can use programs like ChatGPT to help you clarify or condense your statement. Okay. All right. And then let's talk about some other sections of your LinkedIn profile that you want to optimize. So I'm just going to go to mine just to make it quicker here. Okay, so starting from the top of the profile. So we already talked about the banner, we talked about the profile picture. One thing you'll see here on the mine is this little icon right here. So this little speaker icon here. I encourage everybody to set up one of these, and you have to use the mobile to do it. But what it is it was designed for you to pronounce the pronunciation of your name. However, as entrepreneurs, we can use it as a greeting, right? You think about like how voicemails worked on answering machines back in the day. You can do something similar. You know, hi, this is Michael Pope. Well, you know, I do XYZ. I think you get maybe 20 seconds to talk, so you can say a whole lot in that time frame. Okay. To add that, you just go to edit profile, and you'll see your audio recording if you have it here. You can't record one from the computer. It has to be from the mobile app. Just keep in mind. But this is where it's located here, where you add that pronunciation. Okay. Your headline goes there, of course. I encourage people, you know, if it makes sense for you to get one of the top Community Voices badges, you can do that, and I can give you ideas on how to do that as well. All right, but you want to go through and optimize your profile. One thing I see that a lot of people leave out is there's an option here where it's edit custom button, and you can have a link. So you can have a link to something. So in my case, I had this free workshop that you're on today in my LinkedIn profile with the link to register for it. If you have the paid version of LinkedIn or the premium version of LinkedIn, you can have other custom buttons as well enabled. I'm going to say no thanks to that. So discard. All right, so I'm not making any changes there. But so you can do that on your profile where people can easily connect on the, click the links. Okay. Also in your profile, I recommend adding the featured section if you haven't already added a featured section. So to do that, you go to add profile section, you go to recommended, and then here it says add featured. So this is where you add items that are going to be featured on your profile. And let me go back and show you how it shows on my profile. So down here is the featured section. So it's very high on your profile, but you can have a featured section. And in this featured section, you can add posts, you can add newsletter, you can add articles, you can add a link for videos or a landing page and media. If you do add a link, so let's say it's your booking link, I encourage you to add a thumbnail image with it as well. So I'll show you an example. So all of these here are links somewhere, but I have a thumbnail with them. So this one here goes to my booking. I'm just going to edit it just so you can see. Okay, I can't see the link, but here's where I've got the thumbnail in here. So you can easily upload a thumbnail to go along with your featured. Then it's more visually appealing for people. Okay, and you can always reorder your featured items depending on what you want people to see first. Okay, so that's the first section. I'll say update your featured. Okay, another section, and I'm not going to get to the details about this today, but the about section. But hey, Linda.
Hi there, thank you so much. I'm wondering about, so the thumbnail that you were referring to is just a LinkedIn link to where they can find like that video or whatever?
Yes. Yes. So it'll be a link to, so let's say I add a new link. If I come here and click on add link, it could be a link to some landing page, Linda. So that could be like your booking landing page, or it could be an article that you wrote somewhere, just some URL that you have. And once you add that URL, so I'm going to do an example. Let me grab this. So if I paste this URL here and click add, then LinkedIn is going to put an image there. But if I didn't want to use this image right here, I could just click edit and upload another image if I wanted to from my computer.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
All right, great question. All right. So then the about section, I encourage you take time to write your about section, and the about section should be for your target audience. So this is for the people who are going to be showing up, who are going to be coming to your profile looking to hire you or do business with you. Write it for them. Mine is written more with the goal of people hiring me as a speaker. So that's kind of how I've written mine. So take time to write your about. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that today, so we don't run out of time. Next is the services. So Kimberly asked, how did I create the thumbnails? I use Canva. I use Canva for anything graphics. I'm gonna use Canva. So yeah, so you can create those thumbnails in Canva. And then services. So LinkedIn allows you to have a services page where you can showcase elements of your business and people can request services from you. So as an example, when you come to my profile, you'll see the request services button. If they click on that button, it takes them to my services page, which is, so this is my services page. And on my services page, I have an about section and all that type of stuff. Pricing, I put contact for pricing. Services provided, I have public speaking, training, leadership development, corporate training, team building. And then under media, you can add, I think, up to, I believe, 8 items maybe. And I can add an image, video, or a link to something here. So it's part of my services page. Okay. And so this is just another place where people can come and request services for you. And you'll get a notification that people do request your service. So like if I go here to requests, then I can see I've had several people submit, send me like requests. So I actually need to go through and send them a proposal back for some of these, if it makes sense. Sometimes you get requests, you're like, that's, you can always say no thanks to it if you're not interested in that particular request. But these are people just reaching out, requesting business. Okay. Let me go back to the profile here. So we've got the about section, we have our services section, the featured section, and then next is the activity. We don't have time to really talk a whole lot about posting content on LinkedIn. I'll quickly go over some pointers for you. But this activity here, LinkedIn made a change earlier this year that allows you to choose which one of your activity areas you want people to focus on. So when they come to your profile, what do you want them to see first? So by default, you've got posts, but you can change it. So in my case, I have it defaulted at videos. But depending on what you're focused on, that could be your default. And so if you click on this pencil right here, this is where you choose what shows up as your default. So for me, it's videos, because I've been doing a lot of videos on LinkedIn. But you can choose whatever thing you have and save it. Okay. And they still have access to all the other tabs. This is just what do you want them to see first when they just come to your profile. Okay. All right, so then let me get back into this slide here. So Metricool, which is a platform that I use for a lot of social media scheduling, they did a review of 2023 and they published it earlier this year talking about LinkedIn. And what they found is that carousels were at the top of the list. Then images and videos were pretty close last year. Video is a lot higher this year because LinkedIn added something new with the video. So videos are a lot higher. But that just gives you an idea of, like, in terms of engagement, people tend to engage with carousels and videos more than anything else. And Marilyn, can you mute? Thank you. Thank you, my friend. All right. So that just give you an idea, like carousels and video. So I'm going to show you what a carousel looks like on my profile. So carousels will be found in this document section here. And so here's an example of a carousel where essentially it's a PDF that people can scroll through. Okay. And so I have lots of different carousels that I've created. But it's essentially what it is just a PDF. So as an example, I had an introduction one here. And the beauty of these carousels is that people can quickly scroll, right to left. But then also they can download it as a PDF. So if I'm viewing this carousel, there's a download option in the upper right-hand corner here that I can click to download. Okay. So that's the beauty of it. But also keep that in mind that people can download your carousel. So if it's information you don't want people being able to download, then don't put it there. So just be mindful of that. Okay. All right. And as far as creating a carousel, I use Canva for, like I said, almost everything. So you can use Canva to create your designs for your LinkedIn carousels. Okay. And you'll all get access to this document, so you'll be able to see these instructions. But adding a new carousel looks like this. You would just come to start a post. And if you click in the box, you have to click on the little plus right here and then there's a add a document and then choose file. And so that file is typically going to be a PDF. It could be a PowerPoint as well, but typically a PDF is what you would click. So you just click choose file and then I would browse PDF. You would give it a title. All right, so I'm going to give it a title here. It's slowly uploading. This PDF is huge, so it's slowly uploading it. All right, then if I click done, I can literally post this right now if I wanted to. So if I just trying to load the preview, come on. Yeah, I should have picked a smaller PDF, but this is the PDF from today. All right, so I could literally upload this on YouTube right now for people to consume. Okay, so that's kind of how that would work with adding a carousel. Let's go see LinkedIn newsletters. LinkedIn newsletters get a lot of reach, and they're searchable. They're highly searchable on LinkedIn and Google. And the beauty of the LinkedIn newsletter is that when you set one up, LinkedIn automatically sends it out to all of your connections to make them aware of it. Like it invites your connections for you. And then when you create new ones, it emails your subscribers your full newsletter. So it's very powerful, and it's getting a lot of traction nowadays. You probably right now in your LinkedIn box have invitations for other people's newsletters. So I'll show you. So if you go here to my network, and under my network, let's see, I'm gonna click on see all under the grow category. And so if I go to newsletters, there's 66 people I have requests for 66 people to join their newsletter in here. So lots of newsletters in there. And then I'll show you mine. Anissa, how are you?
Michael, I'm well. What is their recommended cadence for doing the newsletters? You think weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
So it really depends on you. So when you're setting it up, LinkedIn allows you to say either daily, weekly, monthly. And so some people, like I have two. I have one that I do once a month and one that I do every week, most weeks. I'm human, so sometimes I'll forget. And so here's how you would set up a newsletter.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome. So when you come in here to start a post, you just click on write article. And it's going to bring you into this dialogue here. And if you have newsletters already created, you can pick, okay, it's going to go to my personal page, and you can pick which newsletter you're going to publish to. If you've never created one, you just want to go to manage, then you'll see create newsletter right here. And this allows you to go through the process of creating a brand new newsletter. And so I'm just going to show, let's see. I'll show an example of one of my newsletters. Okay, so here's an example of a newsletter. I have Tech Tip for Coaches. I have 949 subscribers. And so this is what a typical one of my newsletters look like. So it's text and images. It could be text, images, and videos as well, and links. So you can make it look like any type of newsletter you're looking to make. The beauty of the newsletters is that it gets reach outside of your current connections. So if I click right here where I have the 949 subscribers, you can see I have people on here that I'm not even connected with. Like, right, this person here, they're viewing my newsletter. I'm not connected with them. If I scroll through this list, Regina here, I'm not a connection with her, but she's subscribed to my newsletter. This person here, he's a third connection, but he's found my newsletter somehow. So you go through and there's people on here that are going to be connected to your newsletters that you're not necessarily connected with, but I can easily go and connect with them. So, like I said, LinkedIn newsletters are getting a lot of traction these days. And I love the fact that LinkedIn sends an email of your newsletter content to people. All right, let's see. Oh, one important tip, if you are creating newsletters or if you've already created newsletters in the past, something that I forgot. So I had a friend share this with me, Dominica, the other day. You need to remember to add the SEO title and description for Google for your newsletters. and it automatically makes it more searchable on Google. Let me demonstrate that real quick here. I'm just going to edit this article. So when you're creating your newsletter, before you publish it, you want to go to the settings. And this is where you have your SEO title. So search engine optimization, the title for it. So this title is what shows up on Google. And then you get an SEO description of 160 characters. And so that's going to show up on Google as well. Okay. Yep, so it tells you here on the search engine results page. So you definitely want to add these items here to make your newsletter more search friendly for Google and other search platforms. That was something that I had forgot for the longest, because you don't see it when you're going through the process. You actually have to intentionally go and manage settings. Okay. Kimberly, hey.
Hey, just a quick question. So do you use a template for your newsletters? I use a marketing system that I have access to that will generate them. But do you use yours you just write them out freehand? I mean, not literally with your hand.
I use AI for most things to help me at least organize the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have some existing content and I'll take that existing content. I'll say, hey, put this in format this for a newsletter for me, or as a newsletter article. And so it'll go through and I'll tweak it. And then I'll end up adding images or videos to it, whatever makes sense for that particular newsletter. And I will also add any relevant links. So I don't think I had any links in that one. But if I go back to let's see, because I've had a few different ones. So if there's like an event that I want to promote, or let me check this one here. Because you can add, so like in this one here, I'm actually referencing other videos I did on LinkedIn inside my article. So I can do that as well. You can add links to a landing page or a link to an offer or something as well on here. Yep, so you can do a whole lot with it. The last thing I want to cover is LinkedIn video. So LinkedIn made a switch to now start offering a interface similar to TikTok. And it's only available on the mobile. So on the mobile app, there's a new video option. It should be rolled out to all members by now. And they just curate videos. And so I know for me, I've been creating videos on a regular basis over the last couple of months. And so I've been getting some really good impressions on my videos. So here's just a snippet. So here's the top 4 performing videos that I did. One was a month ago, another one's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago. But I had 127,000 impressions on my highest video, and then 78,000 on the second highest. And it's all because of LinkedIn's video feed. And you really can't control whether you get in that feed. The recommendation is just keep producing quality videos, and then LinkedIn will put them in. LinkedIn chooses which videos to put in the feed or not, because you can't really search the feed. It's just a free-flowing feed of unrelated content in most cases. However, LinkedIn is really putting a whole lot into it. So stay tuned there. Okay. So I encourage you to do videos. Also, live videos on LinkedIn. Before I go there. So live videos on LinkedIn worked as well. So this is where you use a platform like a StreamYard or Restream to stream live on LinkedIn. So as an example, right now, I should be streaming live on LinkedIn. Right. So if I come in here, you see that, right? So this training today, I'm streaming it live on LinkedIn, and currently 2 people are watching. Well, it might be one of them, I don't know. But you can stream it live on LinkedIn. I'm currently streaming live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, but this is just using LinkedIn's live feature. So just keep in mind that's something else that you can do, and it gets good traction. So you can do LinkedIn videos, also LinkedIn audio events. Audio events are similar to the platform Clubhouse that came out during the pandemic. That's kind of what an audio event is. So you can do those. And you can search other people's events. So as part of the search, I'm going to go back here to the search, and I'm just going to search for the topic leadership again. And I'm going to show you all something here. So I'm going to do posts and content type. Let's say I say live videos. I just want to see live videos. Make sure I select it. Show results. Try this again here. Am I not clicking it? Live videos. And show results. Huh. I'm not sure why that didn't I don't know if my mouse is acting up or. All right, so that should have worked. Let's try it this way. All right, so I did leadership, posts, and live events, and I'm just going to do latest. And so I can see people's live events that they had, just filtering. Kimberly, yes.
Thanks. Does this all work on, no matter if you have the paid version of LinkedIn or not, whether you have LinkedIn Premier?
Yes.
If you have the free, okay, thank you.
Yep. Now with live events, you had to have at least 150 followers to be able to go live on LinkedIn. And so most people should have that nowadays. If you use some of the other strategies, you'll definitely get that.
I'm still just trying to find this from member and I'm totally overlooking it. So this is helping. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. All right. And so that's basically the training. But then back again to here's how I can help you. Like I mentioned before. So if you are in a position where you're like, hey, I need some help and I want to finish 2024 strong and prepare myself for 2025, that's how I can help you with these 6 sessions. And I truly believe that in those 6 sessions, I can definitely help you get things optimized and really moving forward with some type of plan. I see a lot of people who they're taking a lot of activity, but they don't really have a solid plan in place. And once you have a easy, duplicatable plan, you can really, really grow. All right. So that's that. And I put the link in the chat earlier for that. Let me find it again here. Let's see. So I'll put a link for anyone who's interested in that. And I'm gonna do my best to stop it at probably the 10 people this time. I think last time I had a little bit more. Annette, hey.
Quick question, and this is unrelated, but LinkedIn has credits to use. Have you heard of that?
I think you have messaging credits. Is that what you're referring to?
It says I have 100 credits to use on my business account to make more connection.
Yeah, so you can message people or like there's certain people you can't connect with unless you use one of your credits.
Oh.
Yeah, because it just gives you further reach. But yeah, they do limit it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And then also, I love getting testimonials. So I would love to have you scan this QR code, provide me a testimonial. And by scanning this code, what you'll get also is you'll get a copy of the slides. So you'll get the PDF of all of the slides that I covered today. So that way you can slowly review along with the video too. Because I'm going to email the video out to everyone who registered. You'll have access to it. And I encourage you to really dig into LinkedIn and Google. It has definitely helped me gain more visibility. If I look back at the last 3 paid speaking opportunities, they all came from someone finding me on LinkedIn and reaching out to me, asking me to speak for them. I have one that I'm doing in October where that came from a networking thing, but that networking came as a result of connections on social media. So I encourage you to do that. All right. And so with that, I'll put that link. I'll put the code for the testimonial in the chat as well. All right. Any last minute questions? Annette, your hand is still up. Is that a new question or is that from before?
Sorry. Nope, I'm good.
Oh,
Thank you. This
you're-
was great.
You're fine. You're fine. So I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to stop my share there. All right. So I can see everybody here. And all right. Well, hey, I appreciate you all being on. This has been a lot of fun for me. Like I said, I love being able to share things that I'm figuring out with my community. So I appreciate you all being on today. And if there's no last minute questions, we will go ahead and end. And see, going once, going twice.
Hey,
Everybody's
Michael.
yes, sir. Hey,
Michael.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a question regarding newsletters.
Okay.
I know that there is an issue, not an issue, but I think I heard that you can't post like blogs from your website and use it as a newsletter on LinkedIn. Like it can't be double posting stuff like that. Can you maybe like, I don't know how to use newsletter. I don't want to have to recreate stuff that I've already done. Like new stuff on LinkedIn. Like what's the purpose of even using a newsletter?